But here we go. We are ready to jump in.
So just a mistake on the starting roster. It will be Just who is going to be playing this first map, not Ace. Not a huge thing here. But historically, this has been the best control map for this squad, Element Mystic. It's because where XC came out on the McCree, it was this map in Nepal where he was able to showcase his skills on both the McCree and the Widowmaker and make a name for himself as a hit scan player. And, you know, obviously he was subbed into hit scan maps since then. And it was Sparkle who was subbed in for Genji maps like the Hybrid. Guard will be playing the Tracer again to start here, so no Widow, no Hanzo, versus Sashin on his iconic Pharah. When he played the Foxes a long time ago, he was exclusively the Pharah player, playing nothing else and only playing Control.
Yep.
But now it feels nice that this is so meta that he can just jump right back into it and not feel weird for playing it, not feel like a one-trick, but feel like he's just part of the meta.
Well, already got tagged up a little bit there, but not going to be going down. He's over halfway to that initial barrage. The Foxes going to be in onto the point first. You see the dash through there. Guard starting this one off with contention, making sure that they don't get this initial cap. As Just pokes in from behind. Has the Discord Orb in onto him. Gets a lot of damage down onto XC, who's going to be falling low. Jump over to the side here from Jexay. Cannot save his life, though. XC will fall. Repel going down as well. Jexay gets the res off onto the McCree, but he dies just as quickly as he was brought back in. Element Mystic in the meantime, trying to get the back cap, essentially going through. Just is going to be putting a halt to that, throws in the pulse bomb, not going to find the kill. Dako manages to take down Sassin. Still just into the fight over the initial cap here, and Guard just burns down, just gets Jung back to the follow-up. Dako knocked out of the mech, but Element Mystic find the first cap.
It looked pretty bad for Element Mystic initially there, but Guard and Pokeball were able to really do consistent damage there, and they outplayed the similar duo on the side of the Foxes, despite the fact that XZ was picked. Jexay was killed earlier after wasting the res. So they end up with a win here on the first point, which feels great. The approach is going to be tough for the Foxes, but an opening kill on Dako is nice. It means that the barrage is open. There's no defense matrix to block it. Looking now for the kill on the Zen.
Yeah, no Transcendence either. Repel is going to be close to that one. Guard trying to throw in the pulse bomb. I believe that one is going to be eaten up there by Stand with the defense matrix. Just goes down. Element Mystic still going to be holding firmly here at the moment. Dako able to rejoin. So now that defense matrix is going to be another issue here for this barrage if Sassin can get into position.
Hiding on this jump pad so that if someone tries to flank XZ, you can just jump up and counter that. So really cool play here by Guard. They control the point, so he's not losing anything from actually just standing there. He doesn't need to be looking for a flank.
Deadeye coming up into the air, but oh, good. Hiding there from Sassin, cuts in behind the building, but the healers don't do anything. They just sit there and take it. XZ comes up with the double kill. Genie and Overwatch both dead. Stand knocked out of the mech.
That was such a great play by Element Mystic because they knew they had control of the point and Guard locked down the flank, so he was going to be able to freely jump pad in to get most of the ticks onto that Deadeye. And the supports just didn't know exactly where he was. There was no way to control that or block that because of the positional advantage Element Mystic had, so they made a really great play. This is clearly practiced. They know when they have control of the point, they can make this play happen if they have the ult advantage, and they certainly did. Also can't tell, but Pokemon did use the primal range. Wondering if maybe he was the one booping the healers out into the open for that Deadeye. Hard to identify given the range that we're dealing with as we were watching that, but either way, great play from the side of Element Mystic, who still have a plethora of ultimates to work with here as they try to maintain this hold. Guard is really impressing on this Tracer right now. He's just fighting the supports non-stop. If he's not protecting the McCree, he's dealing damage.
Trying to get in the back. It's going to be the Transcendence coming through from Genie. Pulse Bomb's going to go out, going to go wide, doesn't find anything. Overwatch under fire as Guard just sticks to him like glue, and the help of Dako will take him out. Guard says, no, I don't want to play in traffic. This bombs back in with the recall. And yet again, it looks like history might be repeating itself as we're in the 99%. Foxes nearly have the flip. They just get the one kill there onto Guard. Self-destruct thrown in, but it's going to go way too deep. Not going to find a pick. The Element Mystic still maintain control, looking for another 100-0 against the Foxes as everybody just dies. They'll start it off. City Center going the way of Element Mystic.
Popo and Dako have really drawn a wedge between the supports and the tanks on the side of the Foxes, so that's why we're seeing so many opportunities for Guard to kill the supports in the backline. Part of why we saw, I think you're very likely correct that the Primal Rage is what caused the supports to be disjointed there that led to the Deadeye kills. This level of coordination we saw on the first point of Oasis is, I feel like, already more reminiscent of Season 1 Element Mystic than what we saw last week against Seven. Tougher opponent, mind you, but really well played. The tanks are just making sure that, you know, Oporochi and Genie are out of position. They're the ones who are the first to fall in most of these fights. We're going to see a switch or just to the Pharah now, or sorry, excuse me, to the Widowmaker, and the same composition here for Element Mystic. Jexay has been really pulling his weight on this Mercy as well to make sure that Poke can be aggressive, can force these supports out of position. And again, support's the first to die. Guard finding them in the back line.
Runs him down. Sassen's dead. Stands out of the mech. Overwatch just drifting around towards the backside to try to stay alive, but that is going to be a very clean wipe effectively coming through for Element Mystic. Foxes going to have to regather, maybe reassess this composition that they're running at the moment, unless Just can start destroying with this Widowmaker. But if he can't get those intro picks, if he can't get rid of Repel and Jexay, then Foxes just might not ever get the flip here, and that's why Just is going to be swapping over onto the McCree.
I like the choice. I think he called it out really well. Again, Genie is the target. Guard's got a recall, so he's fine. I shudder to think what will happen when XC gets a hand on that new McCree, the buffed McCree. That will come out probably at some point throughout this season, but the guy is accurate, man. Pretty
damn scary. Speaking of accuracy, finds Jugmak there as he tries to leap away. Stan is able to run down Pokepo, and the res is available. Orochi bringing the Winston back into the fray. For now, Mystic still going to be holding here. Guard into the backside. Just looking to get the kill in onto Genie. Being pocketed at the moment. Not going to be going down yet, but with the help of Repel, they can go ahead and finish him off, and Sasson is going to die yet again. The Pharmacy Comp completely dismantled, and Fox is struggling quite a bit here on Oasis.
Not a good sign for how the rest of the series might go. Remember, this is one of the better map types of the 4, and it's Element Mystic's best. They needed to come up strong here, and it just is not happening. The barrage is going to be ready for the side of the Foxes here. Sashin is just one shot away or a few seconds away from building that. He's got it now. Can he get the angle?
Finding the kill there, the flash bang, gonna be taken down just, and the self-destruct. Gonna get rid of Sasson and that mech, so the barrage still just gonna have to be held for the moment.
They've got one more chance, and that's all they're gonna have. They need to retreat and back off. If they get staggered right now, they may never get that chance. They will back off. Everyone's getting healed up here on the side of Element Mystic. Jexay should come up in just a moment. Jungmak is respawning. They're actually gonna switch Stan. Oh, I guess he's just switching to get his mech back. I didn't see what happened there. But anyway, I thought for a second he was gonna play the Roadhog, and I was like, well, that's not what you want. They're gonna have to send Jungmak in first.
Oh, they have no idea. The guard's here. Pulse Bomb gonna come out. Doesn't find the healers. Doesn't find the kill. Gets a lot of damage in on the stand, but Genie actually does manage to go ahead and turn that one around as they take down guard. 2 ultimates to work with here, but Justice gonna die before he can use his own.
Nice
coming in from Sasson. Finds Repel, and now Jexay gonna die off screen. As Stan manages to find that kill. Element Mystic struggling. The tank's gonna be falling. And it looks like Foxes will be able to get a percentage here. The first percent they have accrued in Season 2 on Control.
Very, very clutch plays there by Genie to get the kill onto guard. Sashin feeling comfortable there to then force his way into a flank, which was beautiful. But they still have a long way to go. Element Mystic can just look to build 6 ultimates and retake the point. So Repel has been pretty accurate today too, both Zenyatta's being deadly, but they're going to approach here. Look at the dive, very clean. This allows XC to come into position to look for the supports once again.
Comes in off the back, Poke, barely getting that primal rage in time, goes ahead and pops it immediately. Genie uses the Transcendence. He's getting some good hits in onto Just, trying to get rid of that Cowboy, make sure that Deadeye can't come through. Help, using his own Transcendence. Everybody in the fight bubble coming down just so they don't get popped by that self-destruct. They run down Just, never giving him an opportunity to try to use the ult. Guard with another Pulse Bomb, finds the stick this time, hits it on the Jugmak, and he'll die. Genie jumping off the side as the flip comes down. Foxes, can they make it back in time? Exy throws out that Deadeye, but can't get the finish there onto Sasson. But they get Oporochi. Dako is taking it into his own hands to get rid of both members of that Pharmacy Comp. Flip comes through, 99% Foxes, only able to get the 42, so even if they flip this, it's still a long ways to go here for them to try to close this out, to try to force this over onto University. Jugmak gonna die, self-destruct finds Stan before he can make it back into his mech. And that might just be all she wrote. Throws in that Pulse Bomb, doesn't find the stick, but they just keep counting them down. Dako on point with this diva. He is just tearing people to shreds.
It really is. Back to form. Element Mystic takes another win, 8-1 now on Control. But yeah, I mean, there were some key moments I feel for the Foxes where Genie was able to make a big play. Sashin comes up big on the barrage. But they're just really struggling to keep their support line alive, and XC is just so good at seeing where everyone is. Like Element Mystic's communication on where the tanks are going and where he can be means that he's just able to casually walk into free line of sight on the McCree into dead-eye zones that shouldn't be allowed. As it just feels like as much as experience Stand1 and Jungmak have, they're just not able to identify where XC is when he's flanking. When they dive to supports and fail to get the kills, they lose their cooldowns. XC either trades with them, gets the kills, or, you know, comes in and kills the supports who are left behind when the tanks are not there to peel anymore. And Sashin, unfortunately, can't really be the one to deal with the Fox there. Sashin can't be the one to deal with the McCree because he'll just die in the 1v1 in almost every scenario. So. Yep. You got to have your tanks to deal with that McCree, or you got to switch up your composition.
Well, this is a bit of a return to form for Element Mystic, looking a lot cleaner here in this at the start of this series so far. So another victory on control for them. Foxes managed to accrue 42% on Garden, but they can't get any more than that. So that's going to be their grand total so far for Season 2, 2 matches in. But they have their choice of hybrid. Can they deliver another hybrid loss to the side of Element Mystic? I kind of want to say no, given the form that we just saw, unless they want to swap up the roster a little bit here. So far, haven't been told that there's going to be anything changing. I don't know if you put Aced in over Just. I don't think that you put MCD in over Genie, because Genie was actually one of the more consistent parts of that roster there.
Says the card of victory here.
It's a book club card.
Yeah, it looks like they've got some cards to give the players. Perhaps I could read all that. It says, that's a card to translate. It says
PS, MCD something.
This life isn't games, basically, MCD fan, it looks like. But that fox is like considered, I don't know the Korean term for it exactly, but it's like a really ugly looking fox, very popular in memes in Korea. Got the Ebichu sign here. It says, this is all for Element Mystic. I like Element Mystic there on the left side. It's a bunch of money. Not the biggest amount of money. That 5,000 was actually just a $5 bill, but you know,
it's like maybe like $10 altogether there.
Yeah.
Not sure what that bill in the back is. Could be a.
Could be anything.
Could be a 50. You never know.
Element Mystic, I love you. It says on the left side there. Element Mystic's the best on the right. It's a popular character in Korea right now. I don't know what its name is, but it's used a lot in Kakao emoticons. I think it's actually from a web comic.
Does it actually have a hand? His hand just kind of turns into the Element Mystic logo.
Yeah.
Just runs around with that. Show some hearts. Some printed ones. That's not a drawing.
Not a drawing.
You can't fool me.
Alpha to the top right. It's just like, when will I play?
Well, maybe never. We'll see. We'll see. Gotta give it some time. But, I mean, maybe Fox is probably going to be the weakest opponent that Element Mystic has to play in their group. GC Busan Wave were able to come up with a win, and MVP Space do look a bit improved.
Yeah,
so if they wanted to run against a weaker team, Alpha playing, this would probably have to be the time.
I mean, Alpha is a very famed Reinhardt player back from the Meta Athena days, but it was a long time ago. We don't know exactly what his form is yet, but let's see if he does get subbed in. No subs for this map. Numbani will once again, back-to-back, be the choice here for Foxes.
So it seems to be...
It's always been their best map.
Yeah, well, A, their best map, and B, maybe they're hoping to pull off a fuller hold like we saw from 7. Highly doubt that we will...
It's going to be tough.
I don't think we'll ever see that again, you know? If we do, it'll be nuts, but I don't know if we'll ever see the double full hold coming through on Hybrid ever again in Korean Contenders.
Well, Numbani was their greatest map because of their Genji dive in the past. That's obviously no longer the case, but we did see some really good Hanzo attack, so...
I hope you're ready for a Torbjorn, though, because we might be seeing one of those.
High chance.
Man, I'm writing down my notes. Getting ready to write some notes on the Foxes. I accidentally wrote down WGS.
Well, you know,
given the form that they showed on Control, it was a little similar, I guess, to WGS.
Well, this is the famous Element Mystic Numbani defense. It's been mentioned a lot before, and I've seen people talking about it in the post-game threads and stuff. Sideshow actually made a really good video on this defense. You can search it on YouTube. It's probably it's more in-depth than I can explain, but the key idea here is you have a really solid setup for the Torbjorn. You have your line of sight on the other side, so that you have the turret and the Widow on opposite sides. When the dive comes through, if it's switched, you can use the grapple to jump to the other side. You have the Junkrat for peel. And if you get knocked down off of the top, it's still okay if you can live long enough to get the Molten Core. That's golden, but the idea is Orisa is such a sustainable tank that you kind of live through almost everything and out-sustain while the turret just keeps getting replaced, and the Widow never dies because you have to deal with 2 lines of sight. And as you can see, the first turret is on the opposite side of Repel here as well, so we can still be behind this barrier.
Yep. Will be an easy break. You can see Saucin looking for it right now.
Yeah, it's easy to get the first one. But buy some time.
They take that one down. Only going to be an 11% accrued so far for Repel, but the central charge there does take out the Genji. Just going to fall. Another turret eliminated, and Overwatch manages to get the res off. The Fox is going to have to kite back around the corner for the moment.
Dako is killing it right now, though. He's really preventing the approach. Very good positioning. Turret, unfortunately, behind this barrier.
That full dive in. Flex coming in. Stan going to kill that one off. Foxes find their way in onto the point where they get the first tick already. Element Mystic going to have to reposition to try to prevent this. Poco at the moment, poking in onto the corner, but that's 2 ticks surrendered for free with still 3 minutes on the clock. Element Mystic have to stop this. Repel is still so very far away from that Molten Core. Guard firing around. Down that side to start looking for some picks. That's going to be the Primal Rage pop by Jungmak as they finally stop.
Look at the turret placement.
Pushing forward.
Look at the turret placement to the left here. They fall down. Orisa's so sustainable as a healer. They get the Molten Core. There's a res as well. The res is only for the Orisa in this comp. You never use it on anyone else. She comes back up with full armor, and you just out-sustain because the turret's so far back. It's tough to kill a Torbjorn. He's got passive armor, and he's building that Molten Core. So if you dive super deep on him, he pops the Molten Core, you fail it, and then Pokpo's back alive. It's really, really systematic the way they run this, and they drop down when it gets bad. Now they've got the Riptire, so they're staggering these ultimates really well to buy time.
Yeah, draws it up in onto the high ground, looking for the knockout there. Finds just almost gets Stan out of the mech. As Repel just keeps spamming away, trying to keep the turret alive. We'll drop another one of Sauce and manages to finish that one off, and the rest is going to be brought out by Overwatch. Puts just back into the fight as he approaches that Dragon Blade, but in the meantime, Foxes, they cause so much disarray that they actually get the cap here onto point A, and Element Mystic are quite far forward, trying to just fully guard them out here, keep them contained inside of the spawn room.
Okay, Justice got his blade here, but he needs to be healed before he can do anything with it. The supports are dead, so he actually probably shouldn't stick around this long. He might find himself dead as well.
Just going low.
He's hopping away, bunny hopping,
He's
but
trying to get there. Finds the health pack, but now going to be surrounded. Just going to get moved off. Jumps to the side, makes it back on, but it's
that
kind of
wasted a
delaying
lot of time.
the inevitable, yeah.
Yeah, that
And
wasted
they're
a
still
lot.
set up on the cart. This is incredible.
Well, he's about to have another, I almost said primal turret. He's going to have another.
It is
Molten
Primal
Core.
Rage for a turret, you know. Guard getting jumped on, going low. Gets healed back up. Riptire going to be coming through, and Overwatch and Jungmak already dead.
You know, this is the stuff that full holds are made of.
Looking for some stragglers.
Yeah, this was. He actually didn't mean to use that. He didn't. He thought it was needed, but there wasn't anything he could gain from that. But soon there's an argument that they could actually just go back on the high ground if they get another wipe like this with a Molten Core. Like they could just go back to the original setup. Justice again trying to approach. And this is just so difficult to deal with all the armor from the Torbjorn, the shield here, and how good Dako is on the D.Va is really, I think, personally what empowers the strategy so much. Here comes the dive. Jungmak's already basically dead.
The jumping in, just going low, so has the Dragon Blade ready to go. Not going to pop it yet. He's just going to get burned down. Dako yet again comes up with a kill, and the Primal Rage was invested here from the side of the Foxes. Stand one managing to take down guard. Molten Core popped. Buying some more time from the barrier to make sure that everyone stays nice and safe. Exy taken out here by Saucin right as the res is used by Jexay. Guard still spamming away, gets a hit in onto Just, takes him down below half HP before coming up over onto the high ground, but he's going to lose his life for that one. Genie finds the kill, and finally it seems like the Foxes should be able to get this cart moving. But my God, the spawn camp, the time buy from Element Mystic, it was so beautiful. They held this for over 2 minutes.
Yeah, they got the double Molten Core. That almost never happens. One of the most frustrating things about dealing with Torbjorn and solo queue is your teammates just coordinate with you, right? You know where it is, everyone knows where it is, but everyone has to deal with it together. When no one's talking on the mic, it's tough to kill. But in a pro game, it's just so difficult because you think you have a good read on where the turret is and what the setup is, and then Element Mystic changes it again and again and again. And every time you come, it's in a different place, it's a different setup. Dako kills it. It's just so frustrating, but they do finally break through.
Looking for the Deadeye here. Bubble's going to go away, and they find the shot onto Overwatch. You just push forward. You just go for another spawn camp? Like,
They like set the turret here again.
Yeah, like, Repel's like, hang on, give me a second. I only got 70% on this Transcendence. Let me go to the Torbjorn.
Well, this is going to be really rough for the Foxes. They've got a good set of ultimates to use here now, but they've just been so halted. They don't want to use these ults here. Ideally, they want to use them for the contest of point B, but they're not even halfway to point B. They don't have any control over this point right now. They just get up here. They're getting onto the point.
They're on the first corner. That's all they've been able to do.
Yeah.
Justin's been holding this Dragon Blade for so very long. Now he's going to try to use it. Drops into the back. The flashbang comes through. The self-destruct takes him down. He had that for so long, but it means nothing.
It means
you get
literally
nothing. Good day, sir. Foxes still going to be held at bay with a minute left on the clock. Element Mystic just playing with their food right now, it would seem.
Exceed DMX Sashin as well before he goes down. They had to use all their ultimates, all 6 of them. Jungmak gets staggered. 6 ultimates for this. Not even halfway to point B. They're not going to have those to contest. Element Mystic should be able to halt this now. They've got a huge ult advantage. The respawn coming through from XC and nearly the big 6. Like, in what world does Foxes complete this? Justice just playing so aggressively so far up because he's trying to left-click his way to another Dragon Blade, but that is a pipe dream you have to feel at this point. Guard gonna flank. Genie's the target, he misses.
Misses the pulse stick. Genie gonna be able to stay alive. Bit of a botch there for Guard. Foxes, Guard now gonna be halted. Pocket coming through, but the shot's just too good. Guard has the spray control coming in, and there's really no way for Overwatch to get over and try to res him out. Now gonna pop that Transcendence. They push forward, they hold the card for the moment. Just tries to poke in from the top. Stan tossing up that self-destruct, looking for a pick, not gonna find anything, drops back in, makes it back into the Mac. But actually with a dead eye, gets rid of Sasson. Bomb in, Guard finds another one, gets rid of that baby Diva, and that's just gonna be the OT ticking down, held just in front of point B. Foxes cannot make it happen because Element Mystic, good God, the spawn camp, we called it last season the Willy Wonka, where no one ever goes in, no one ever comes out.
Yeah.
They pull it off for 2 minutes or so there on point A. Foxes never stood a chance.
I mean, the Torbjorn setup is just so well executed by this team right now, and it's just one of the depths of this team's roster and strategy pools. And XZ brings the McCree in, gets the flashbang to shut down the blade, which was the most amazing moment, but just has such good accuracy overall. And finally, I feel like Guard is really impressing me on the Tracer. Last week, I felt like he was decent, but today he feels great. Pulse Bomb misses Genie, and he still gets the kill afterwards. Yeah. Just able to track him down and kill him.
While Mercy was healing him.
Yeah, while Mercy's killing him through the chaos, the shield's regenning. So right now, you know, if you're a Foxes fan, this is their best map historically. They're 2-4 on Hybrid. New Body's the only map they're taking wins on. And, you know, it looks like it might be another loss here, unfortunately.
Not a good look at all.
They can't run the Torbjorn that we've seen more popular on this map recently. They're just not familiar with it. Genie's on the roster now with Overwatch. Now there's players having Torbjorn experience in their careers, so they're going to be running the more standard Pharah Widow. Not going to be running the Orisa. There's a lot more flexibility. This is something you'd see a lot on Anubis, because all of your heroes can avoid dive by jumping to the other side, because not a single hero outside of the Zenyatta on this defensive setup cannot move. Like, the Zenyatta's the only piece on the board that's not able to just like fly from one side to the other, but as you can see, Genie's positioned very far back as a result. Can still Discord and Harmony safely from there. Guard shows the Sombra. I would love to see this.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this isn't just going to be scouting, but he already has a translocator thrown back into the spawn room, so this is more than likely just going to be him saying, okay, this is what they have. I'm going to go back. This is what we need for the comp.
Yeah, I just want to make sure it's not a Torbjorn or anything like that.
He didn't really spot much, though.
Yeah, they saw it wasn't a Torbjorn comp, though. There's no turret.
Yeah.
They saw the Pharah as well. So, going to make the switch back to the Tracer. We will have XC on the Widow. Sasha needs to be really careful about his positioning.
Jump up here onto the high ground. Sasha trying to break the tanks as Element Mystic gets in onto the point. Nearly take that first stick. Now have it. Sasha going low. Didn't really have anywhere to go. Tries to bounce back, but he's still just sitting in that very narrow street, so Guard is able to burn him down. Shot in on the Jungmak as he falls below half HP. Has a kite off the high ground. 2 ticks. Gain for Element Mystic. And it might just be A going their way. Jungmak dives back in, has some healing coming through, but the Mercy can't follow. It's just the Orb of Harmony. He burns down. And This should just be the finish here onto A. 5.5 minutes for Element Mystic to make it just in front of point B.
They're not even on the cart. They just want to go get the cleanup kills here, get their staggers.
Just sit the Zen on the cart. Repel will bring it up.
Something I want to point out about Pokepo's Winston play that I've been noticing is that he likes to dive the high ground, do damage while he's mid-air, and he kind of hits the edge where it reduces your falling speed. He hits the edge of the railing and then falls down, so he can't really take much more damage. So he basically uses all of his ammo and his jump to do maximum damage, then falls down and gets support where he's out of line of sight. It's pretty cool. It was really well done by him and Dako together to disrupt that defensive setup. Now they've just got a free push going on with the staggered kills you were just talking about. Oh man, how can this happen? This is not good.
Well, Max dead, Genie's gone. He takes his head off. Barochi trying to stay alive as see Sassen over onto the side here with a Tracer. Never been the biggest pick for him.
Stan's like, I'm not getting staggered. I'm getting off this map right now.
I'm getting ready for point C. Oh, we don't need to take it? Okay, whatever.
They're going to have one more shot at staggering this. Stan's going to have the self-destruct. Jungmax should be able to build a primal, but not if he gets picked off.
Not if this pulse bomb comes through. He's looking for it, tosses it down, no stick, however, and Jungmax will be able to survive for the moment. But he goes straight into the back, looking for the Widowmaker. Transcendence will keep just alive. The next he will get taken out. Jungmax finding the kill. Now the primal rage is going to be coming online. Self-destruct tossed in by Stan. Finds two guard. What are you doing? He's tipped back in to the left-hand side, gets himself picked off, and Popo goes down as well. So Foxes should be able to hold 0.04 meters away as the rollback starts coming through, but
they had all the ultimates.
It's still 3:45 on the clock.
It's really huge for them, though, that both support ultimates were burned. So we all know cool Tracers don't look at explosions.
Guard did.
It felt like last season
Guard stared at it.
It was the Sombra that was looking at the explosion every time. Now it's the Tracer. But we saw a lot of those. Either way, you know, this is great for the Foxes. I mean, all things considered, they still hold a slight ult advantage in terms of supports.
They didn't have to use a primal, which is good. That's going to be a big time buy for them. As Guard is just going to get zapped to death, doesn't use the recall.
Element Mystic is going to have to get a little bit set up here, though. This is pretty sloppy how they're approaching. Wasted self-destruct from Dako. Pokepo super low trying to build his primal here. So a lot of time wasted. I mean, I can understand why Pokepo stuck around because he's obviously going to build primal, but Dako using the self-destruct there was pretty egregious.
Yeah.
And Foxes, again, just maintains ult advantage. So
Dawson need to regroup. The back. Stomp comes through. That's going to be both healers going down. Yeah, Element Mystic getting staggered out. So he's trying to kite back by Guard. He's trying to go for that back cap. Throws out that pulse bomb reflexively and almost gets it pushed into the station, but now he's just going to get burned down. Sassen on his heels.
This is like, that was horrible. Like, it's really cool if you get it, but even if you get it, you still can't push by the time the Widow respawns pretty much with all your teammates being dead. Not only that, he then goes to duel the Tracer without recall and is killed. And so makes two fail plays and gives Foxes a lot of room to breathe. Like, the Foxes are starting to really stabilize here. Again, maintaining ult advantage.
That's a crucial miss. Follows up, finds it in the end. But now it's just going to be point-blank Widow battling here versus just a tag on each. Mega Packs here. That's cheating, Exy. You're not allowed to do that. But they're going to go ahead and fire back with another cheat as they break into Zenyatta. But in the meantime, the cart's rolling through. So that was all fun and dandy. But in the end, Element Mystic get the win. They're up 2-0.
A sad, sad story for the Foxes. Element Mystic is really, I think, beating their chest here a little bit, trying to assert dominance with some of the plays we saw that either looked amazing or backfired. Xyz's play, definitely the big one. As the coaches come in, Doc was getting a stern talking to about that self-destruct perhaps.
Never do that again.
You're getting subbed out. Alpha's playing D.Va. Yeah. He's not even a D.Va player. I'm sorry. But yeah, that was Element Mystic having a great defense in the offense. They stomped him because they were able to utilize Guard much more effectively than what the DPSs were able to do for the Foxes. Especially Sashin was pretty low impact on the Pharah, unfortunately. And Xy is the better Widow when compared with Just. So there were definitely some big mistakes in terms of ult economy, coordination, and dive on the side of Element Mystic, but I think we can let those go given that it felt like it was pretty much a free win at the end. If we continue to see those the rest of the two maps in this series, that's when we have to be like, you know, it works against the Foxes. What's going to happen when we hit tougher teams? But I think that for this particular map, I think we could just give them a pass and say, you know, it felt like the map was already over that. A massive time bank. They are the superior team in terms of mechanics, so they just wanted to show that off a little bit.
I mean, just big disconnect there on the side of the Foxes, trying to go in onto the Widowmaker. Like, that's not the most important thing right now. You have to hold the cart.
Yeah.
Sure, you can kill Exy, but you just lose it. Now you're down. One more win for Element Mystic. They'll be able to close this out. 3-0, 3-1 if Foxes are able to answer on Escort. But
not only were they not on the cart, but also they were losing the fight because their Widow was out of position, and they brought over one of their supports, and then
the only one that was alive.
Then Guard is like just tearing everybody up by himself off screen. Like he ended up, I think, with a triple kill there while that was all happening. So they lost the fight on the cart, then lost the cart because they were so pigeonholed on killing Exy, who was out of position and doing something totally crazy. But again, like you said, it's you never want to lose sight of what's the most important thing, which is the fight that's occurring on the cart when they're 2 meters away from knocking you to your last life in this best of 5.
They're very much just snowballing their disadvantages, just one on top of the other, just piling them up, and in the end, yeah, they suffered for it. I mean, we kind of knew how this map was going to go from the initial attack when they were being held inside of their spawn for over 2 minutes, but man, well, that's halfway through the series already. Element Mystic delivering a pretty quick half. We're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll see if Foxes can pick up a map win.